Welcome to IAYTD. Today we are looking at the Avengers, the Infinity War, which is going to be a two-part movie, basically Avengers 3. So the Russo brothers, who directed Winter Soldier and the soon-to-come Civil War, have announced that there are 68 characters in Infinity War. So of course, people like me have to say, who are those 68 people? And let's try to make some predictions. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through all the characters we know, then we're going to get to some that we think, and then maybe some that it's a bit of a stretch, and see if we can get up to 68 and maybe see who some of these characters are. So let's dive in. I'm going to make the assumption here that no one dies in Civil War. So we might lose some of these characters, but let's just start at the top. Let's start with Iron Man and War Machine. I think both of these guys are going to make it to the Infinity War. Along with Iron Man probably comes Pepper Potts, because Iron Man probably won't make it, and we need someone to react. We'll of course have Captain America. We'll of course have Winter Soldier. We'll add in the Falcon. We'll add in Agent 13. We'll add in some other S.H.I.E.L.D. folks like Nick Fury and Black Widow. We have some of the new Avengers like Scarlet Witch and Hawkeye. We have the Vision. We'll have the new Ant-Man and we'll have the new Wasp, because by this point they have had a movie together. We'll have Thor and we'll have his brother Loki. We will also for sure have some action scenes with Sif and the Warriors 3. We will see Odin, though is he really Odin? I'm not sure. We'll have to see in Ragnarok if he's really survived or not. I expect that we'll get at least a scene or two with Jane Foster and Selvig and Darcy, like that whole team. Jane will probably have to be somewhat important to give Thor that foundation that he needs, that connection to the human world. We'll most definitely have the Hulk. And I think we will also get General Ross. By this point, maybe he will be the Red Hulk. Maybe he'll still just be a general. I think we'll still see him. And finally, we will also see the original 5 Guardians of the Galaxy come together with the Avengers. So we'll have those 5, plus we'll probably still have Nebula because of her ties to Thanos. Because of where the Infinity Stones are held, we will probably most definitely see the Nova Corps. So at least probably Nova Prime and maybe someone else that maybe becomes important in the story. So I'm going to guess 2 people from Nova. I am also going to guess that we're going to see the Collector again, even if he doesn't appear in the next Guardians of the Galaxy. Last time we saw the red Infinity Stone, it was with the Collector, so I think he'll at least show up for a second. Now we're going to get to some of the new heroes that we haven't seen their solo movies yet. So we'll have characters like Black Panther, who will show up in Civil War. We'll have Spider-Man, who by this point will have at least one solo movie. We'll have a Captain Marvel. We'll have a Doctor Strange. I'm going to guess that Doctor Strange number 2, Wong, will also appear in this movie. By this point, we'll also probably see the Inhumans. So I'm going to guess that we're going to see the core 6 of them in their movie. So the 6 Inhumans that are basically the royal family in that close-knit circle, I think we're going to see those Inhumans show up in the Infinity War. Now we're going to get to characters that it's not so obvious. I'm going to predict that in Ragnarok, we're going to meet some other Asgardians that are going to fight in this huge war, and one of those I think is going to be Valkyrie, who is basically the female equivalent to Thor, so I think Valkyrie is definitely going to appear in Infinity War. I also think we're going to get a new Guardian of the Galaxy, and I think right now the theory that's most popular is that that character is Mantis, so I think we're going to at least get one more new Guardian. The 50th person is a no-brainer, and that is Thanos, the big villain of the movie. Obviously, we're going to get him. I'm going to put out some good thoughts, and I'm going to predict that the Defenders will at least get a cameo, a couple scenes of them on the ground, defending, Earth from whatever. So I think we're going to see those 4 plus the Punisher. I also think we're going to get 2 people from S.H.I.E.L.D., maybe Quake, Agent May. I think we're going to get 2 people, in a few of those scenes, probably with Nick Fury. I don't know if we're going to get Agent Coulson, because how confusing that would be to the movie audience that as far as they know he's dead. So if they do throw in Coulson, they'll also have to do some backstory as to why he's alive. I do think we're going to get the old Hank Pym, and I think we're going to get the old Wasp, because they are obviously going to find a way to get her back. So I think we're going to see those 2. We also need some more bad guys. So I think Thanos is going to have 4 of his Black Order to back him up. So I think there's going to be 4 of them that will basically serve as mini bosses, for our heroes to fight while building up to the big final climax. So we have 5 spots left, and I think 4 of them are going to go to probably some of these other minor characters that might show up. So it might be characters like Martin Freeman, who supposedly is going to show up in Civil War and Black Panther. Maybe Cate Blanchett, who's a villain supposedly in Ragnarok. Maybe she shows up. Maybe Betty Ross, played by Liv Tyler, shows up. Maybe Agent Carter's in a flashback. There's 4 mystery characters that could potentially show up, or they could be 4 characters that we haven't seen yet. And the number 68, the last person, I'm hoping is going to be Death herself. If you know anything about Thanos, you know that he's obsessed with death and kind of goes on this big crusade to kill basically everyone to win her love. So I really hope that we see that embodiment of death in Infinity War. So those are the 68 people. Do you think that makes sense? Do you think there's obvious other supporting characters that are going to show up? Do you think that some of these characters aren't going to make it? You know, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the Defenders. Do you think they're going to make that TV crossover? Do you want to see them make that crossover? What do you think about this list of 68 characters? So thanks for watching. Give your feedback in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.